Okay, where do you want to start?
Syria,
Okay.
please. What is your latest understanding of the inspection team, the OPCW inspection team, and their access or lack thereof to the site of the attack? And then yesterday, your representative at the OPCW said, I think for the first time that an official has said this publicly, at least on the record, that you're concerned that Russia and Syria may have tampered with the site in order to try to cover up whatever evidence there might be of a chemical attack. Can you explain why you have that concern?
Sure. So first off, let me ask you all, if anyone did not get a copy of our permanent representative's statement on the OPCW as it pertains to Syria, please let us know, because we do have a copy of that. We'd be happy to provide you, so let us know that. Part of the concern, Matt, is the longer that it takes to get OPCW inspectors in to take a look at soil samples and other information that they can get in the ground, that delay further degrades any evidence that's on the ground. So that is our chief concern. We want them to be able to get in as quickly as possible, as safely as possible, but we also want that evidence to be as pure as possible for their investigation. We are certainly aware that Syrian state media was reporting earlier today that the team has been able to enter Douma. We can't independently confirm that at this time. Our sources, which we consider to be reliable, indicate that the team has not yet been able to enter Douma. So that is our understanding of the situation, at least as of right now.
Well, does that mean then that they're still in Damascus, or that they may have gotten to the town, but they just haven't gotten to the site, or what?
I can just say our understanding is that the team has not entered Douma.
And then the other thing is, in answer to my question about the tampering, you just talked about degradation. That's a little bit different than
right. And that's what I was addressing. The longer it takes for teams to be able to get there, the better the chances are that the evidence will deteriorate. So that's part of it. I was talking about time. As it pertains to tampering, to your question, let me go back to our permanent representative's comments from yesterday and just read a portion of this, because it was put out by Ambassador Kenneth Ward. He said, "It is our understanding that the Russians may have visited the attack site. We are concerned that they may have tampered with the intent of thwarting the efforts of the OPCW fact-finding mission to conduct an effective investigation. This raises serious questions about the ability of the fact-finding mission to do its job." So I think in his statement, that's just a few sentences from it. I think it's clear the concerns that U.S. and other officials, the French came out and basically said the same thing earlier today that we have about that.
I get that, but that statement that you just read from him is very heavily qualified. There's two may-haves in there. Why do you think that? Why do you say may have? What is the information that you have that leads you to say the Russians and the Syrians may have? I mean, we can say the same thing.
I want to be sensitive about this, and I hope you will understand. The situation on the ground is extremely volatile there. We have organizations that we work closely with on the ground who are under threat each and every day. Some of these people, some Syrians, some from other countries, take their lives into risk. Their lives are at risk each and every day, that they could potentially provide any information to, whether it's an NGO or another country. So we want to be extremely sensitive and careful about this. We don't want anyone to risk their lives further than they already are. So some of this stuff is just we're going to be very cautious about providing it, and some of it will just be intelligence information.
I'm not asking for like photographic evidence, although I'm sure some people would like photographic evidence. But I just what kind of activity have you been told about on the ground that leads you to make statements like the Russians and the Syrians may have done things in Douma to try to tamper with
Matt, I can only say some of this would just be intelligence information that I'm not permitted to get into here. I'd be happy to try to connect you with our OPCW permanent reps office to see if they have any additional information that they can provide, but I hope that you'll be understanding of the sensitivities.
Okay, but you're just saying then the bottom line here is you're saying just trust us.
Well, Matt, I think we've seen that the Russian government and the Syrian government Their whole goal in this is to try to cover up. Their goal is to try to deflect attention. So if they could put this back on us, they would certainly like to do it. But the fact of the matter is that Bashar al-Assad is responsible yet again for gassing and killing innocent men, women, and children. And so if people want to put the focus on what information the U.S. has, that's fine. But the U.S., backed by its allies, the Brits and the French, took action because Bashar al-Assad continues to kill his own people.
I get that, but are you saying that then that the delay in getting to the site is part of a scheme to tamper or
Matt,
to have
if you want to have
evidence?
if you want to have an off-the-record conversation about this, we can have an off-the-record conversation about this. But I'm not going to state this from this podium. Okay, go ahead, Leslie.